dreams because in there is so much peace. I dream of a better place where the language is love. Free from race, free from hate, free to love who you love. Night times will come, but the moon will light the skies. The world will keep on turning, and the sun will always rise. The grass is always greener, because there is no other side. Life would be perfect in this dream of mine.
Good evening and welcome to IITW Radio. It is 8/13/2018, about halfway through the month. Tonight we have a really good show lined up for you. We have one of my favorite artists, Mike Nicole. How you doing, Mike?
I am good, sir.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, man. I definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, we had a rough time getting you on here, but finally pulled it off.
Oh, yeah, we always, it always come together for the best.
I am one of your biggest fans. Like I was telling you before we got on the air, your music makes me want to run out and get a girlfriend.
I get that a lot. I got to make that baby making music.
Yeah, right. Hey, you got some sweet sounds. I grew up on R&B. And
Well, thank you, man. Definitely appreciate it. It's that kind of music you don't really hear as much anymore.
yeah, I grew up with Chuck Berry and B.B. King. Like that song he sings, like my back ain't got no bone. You don't want me singing
you grew up
it.
on the real stuff. That's the good stuff.
Oh yeah, but you seems that R&B was a dying thing for a lot of years. You got rap, you got all kinds of stuff, country music and everything. Some of the older
Right.
country's starting to make it back, but the R&B, I'm glad to see that some of the artists like yourself are bringing it back now, because I mean that's a lost art. Anybody can get
It
up
is.
there and pretty much say music, but to have the soul, and I don't mean soul like soul food. I'm talking about the soul
No,
from
I know what you're
within.
talking about.
From within, when you're not singing through your nostrils and you're not singing, bellowing something out like Roseanne Barr at a damn, football game or something.
We definitely ain't doing a Roseanne Barr thing. But yeah, there's that good soulful, that good feed your soul type of R&B.
Yeah, you can sit there at night. You're right. You're gonna make the population boom with your music.
Man, you know what? That would be a blessing. That's honestly what I do it for. I actually do it because, the music that I put out and the people that gave me the feedback on it, was always they very welcoming. And it was like the music that they said that, they haven't heard in a while. So it does justice when somebody listens to my music and tell me how much they love it, So it's always been a passion and a dream, man, and I'm still trying to pursue that dream. The music business has changed so much, and the business of it has changed so much, but I still have that same love for it that I always grew up,
Now
from the records and things.
Now you have all these guys like Eminem, and I'm not knocking any of the rappers' music and
Right.
all, but hell, I can hardly keep up with it. I can pretty much get I'm going to shoot the cop, I'm going to run away and slap the bitch and all this stuff. But on your music,
Oh, no, not slap the bitch.
in your music, you actually, if you sit there and listen to it, it carries a message with it about peace and
Yes.
love and inner being and all this stuff.
Yes. It's like I said, for me, it's like, honestly, I grew up, like a lot of artists grew up, but my uncle used to always play just so much music on the records, so I grew up listening to the records that he used to play until I was able to get to the point where I was buying my own cassette tapes. And I always thought about, I can't wait till one day where I'll be able to create some music that somebody would love. And I remember just used to just go in and read all the artwork on there and see all the people who has written the music and everything like that. I thought it was just an amazing thing. And I was like, one day I would love to create that same type of feel, the music and the artwork and just all of it, So I've been, enjoying it ever since, and the music is doing very well, man, and it's actually reaching a lot of people.
Yeah, you have a lot of people requesting your songs and stuff. I'm sitting here looking at your bios with Lost Without Love and all this stuff, and you were the World Academy of Art, Literature, and Media.
Yep.
introduced you as the best-selling author and renowned Canadian songwriter.
Yes, sir. So yeah, they actually, which was amazing to me. That's why, the funny thing is about like social media. It's a good bad thing. It's like the double-edged sword on there. I feel like with music now, people, you can get music almost pretty much for free now. So that's the sad thing about the art. That's the lost part of it for artists. But yet the internet makes it to where more people in the world can hear your music. So that's how I even got in contact with those guys over in Canada. They heard my song Lost Without You, and they loved my voice. And it was like, we would love to do some music with you. So we did one song, and they loved it so much that we ended up going back and doing an EP. And I didn't think nothing of it, and next thing you know, I think some months down the line, I was nominated for Best R&B Soul Song. And I'm thinking it was going to be a mediocre type of event. And I go to this event, and I'm in there with Earth, Wind, and Fire. I'm in there with like the best songwriter ever, Diane Warren, and Randy Jackson from the American Idol. So it was like, I guess for me, I didn't think my music would go that far. I didn't think I would go that far. And now I'm actually nominated again for a song that I did, which is one of the songs you guys have been playing, which is Find a Way to Love. So in November, I go back because I'm nominated again for another song. So
yeah, you get a lot of requests for your music. We need to get some more music from you.
Man, I got you. I'll definitely have to sing you some more. The whole project, which was called So It Was Written, it's like 14 tracks, R&B songs. And what's funny is everybody listened to it. When they do listen to it, they say, the way I write.
Nope, we lost sound with you.
Yeah.
There you are.
Can you hear me?
There you're back.
Yeah. Yeah. So, everybody say, when they listen to music, the whole CD is like they read a book, So, and I'm actually got a new project coming out that's going to be releasing over in London, actually, which is called, the title of that project is called Simply Wonderful.
Yeah. Now, you grew up in Chicago, correct?
Yes, sir, I was. I grew up in Chicago. My mom brought me and my brother here when I was 16 years old.
Where's that, to Minnesota?
Yep, to Minnesota.
Now, how do you go from growing up into Chicago to coming out with music like this and not being in jail?
That's what it was. The funny thing is...
Or not being shot.
The crazy thing, exactly, especially in Chicago, the crazy thing about that, it's just one of those things that you feel like, there's a bigger purpose for your life, because we grew up in the inner cities of Chicago, South Side of Chicago. And, the thing is, they always say, you were lucky or blessed to know that you could make it past your 18th birthday, and we had a lot of run-ins with things like that. So my mom at 16 years old was like, okay, she just wanted better for me and, me and my brother, for her kids. So she moved us here to Minnesota. But the thing is, no matter with all the hard things that we went through in Chicago, I would never trade any of it. I actually loved, my upbringing in Chicago, the good and the bad.
Yeah, when you said that about...
Because of that, I have the type of music that I do, that soulful music. That's where it's come from. You think about like the R. Kellys, Dave Hollister, I think Sam Cooke I don't think he was originally from there, but he was a big part of his career was in Chicago. It's a great music. Kanye West, it just goes on and on, and this goes on and on.
Yeah. You said that about reaching your 18th birthday. That's one of my favorite movies is Don't Be a Menace. You ever see that one with the Wayans brothers and stuff?
Oh, yeah. Don't be a menace while drink your gin and juice in the hood.
Yeah, he said, happy birthday to me. To me? Happy birthday to me. To me? My baby. That ain't your baby, mama. Get away. But, Chicago has a lot of, in the last week here, we're sitting at over 50 people shot. So, these people in Chicago that listen to our radio station, we have people all over the world. And I'm sure Marie's probably told you about the numbers or whatever that come off the station and stuff. Try to keep all the artists up on them. Mm-hmm. But just the fact that you're still surviving and that you are not any part of that, the people that listening should see that, here's a role model. You don't have to go out and shoot people or rob people. And it's like that. It's not just Chicago. Hell, it's like that in Tampa and Jacksonville.
Exactly. It's everywhere, but yeah, it's the sad thing that it is a high rate of killings in Chicago. That part is sad to see. Like if I'm watching news and I'm here in Minnesota, it's hard to see like the place that I'm from that's going. They're always in the news for being top rated as far as murders and things like that. So all these killings, especially with these young kids. That's a sad thing to see because the type of talent, our gift that these kids could offer the world, we would never know, what they could have brought to this world, so it's heart wrenching, and the sad thing, because my grandmother still stays there on the south side of Chicago. And even when I go there, like I go there to a couple times for the WGCI, which is one of the biggest radio stations in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll call my grandmother, which is, WGCI is downtown. But I'll call my grandmother and let her know that I'm in town. And, she was like, okay, babe, I love you from a distance. I don't want you to come this way because it's just crazy this way. So that's the sad thing.
Yeah, it really is because, I mean, like yourself, you're a success story, and it doesn't matter what color you are. There's all kinds of people in Chicago. There's Hispanic, there's blacks, there's whites, there's all kinds of people. But the thing is that in the inner cities, I wish they would do something more about them. Whether they go in there with the SWAT teams or whatever and clean them out, because even in Jacksonville, right up the road from me, there was like 20-something shootings in the last month. It seems like all they talk about is Chicago, but to any of these kids that are in these rural areas or not rural areas, but big city areas and stuff that think that all they have to look forward to is selling drugs and, and life of crime, what advice would you give them? Because there's some great talent that comes out of these places.
Very much so. The funny thing is, and the good thing about that is what's going to change that, and, it's taking a little time, but people don't seem to care unless someone with a platform is able to say something. So everybody look at the entertainment world, they look at the artists, and they look at the athletes and things like that. And with things like, people were doing stuff like for LeBron James, who just opened up that school. And then you got in Chicago, Chance the Rapper, who's always donating. The thing is, when you start seeing positive figures like that, and it's almost like a chain reaction. Now you're starting to see more and more people. So the thing is, as long as we have stuff to see, if we see other people doing things and giving back to the community, then that's going to make, because the sad thing is, I can say one thing to a person. I can say the same thing that a celebrity would say, but it's going to impact more if the celebrity say it. Because they have a huge platform and they're loved, on a different level. But as long as it continues like what it is now, I'm starting to see a lot of celebrity. I'm starting to see a lot of people with a huge platform starting to step up, and they're starting to show that they actually care for the community. And once you do that, it starts to let these kids know that, somebody out there do care. Somebody out there is giving back to the community, and it's going to make them want to step up, because I'm seeing them donating for these kids to be able to go to college, even if they couldn't afford it now. They're giving them education, showing them that there is a better way. So even like I said, for my mom, she had to take us out of there because she's seen a better way for me and my brother. So I'm just happy and blessed at what she did. So I think as long as people continue to do that, to give back to the community, to be a role model. I think it's gonna start to, these kids are starting to wake up. They're very smart today, and I think, the music do have to change, because you have a lot of these rappers that's always talking about Percocets and all these drugs and things like that, and majority of the guys who's talking about the drugs, they don't even do drugs. They're healthy as ever, but what they're doing that is to sell music, and that's the sad part about it. But I think people are changing. People are waking up, and being responsible more of what the things that they're putting out. So it's starting to change. It just depends on the radio stations and things like that. What they can't always play the bad things that they play. They have to play some stuff that's going to feed these kids' minds as well. So they are held accountable as well.
Yeah, that's what we try to do at IITW Radio. Did you by any chance you know who Pitbull is, I'm sure?
Yes, I definitely know Pitbull.
Did you see what he just did down in Miami? He opened up that big school.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he opened up a big school, and I watched a special on it. As a matter of fact, it was on last night. I forgot what news station it was on.
That's weird, because usually when something like that happens, it goes viral, and you see it everywhere. I haven't seen it. How long ago was it?
A couple of years ago, he opened it up,
Wow.
and I think it just got finished. Well, they started a few years ago, but I believe that was on, what was that on last night? It was on TMZ, but
Okay.
I think they broadcast it on Fox last night. But
Oh,
if you get a chance, go back and Google. It was on Fox. She's over there shaking her head, but they had it on Fox last night. It was one of their Sunday evening specials, and they did a whole, I think, hour and a half on Pitbull. And I was
oh,
really
wow.
surprised because of the stuff that I've seen in the news about him. You know, over the years, he's gotten in trouble. He said, as a matter of fact, he said, when you Google Pitbull, the dog doesn't come up first. He comes up first.
That's how
So,
much. That's how much terrorizing he's been doing.
oh yeah. So, but man, that's great that you have the kind of music and the message that you have, and I hope these kids. And there's no doubt you saying somebody with a bigger format than you. I don't think it's going to be long, Mike, before you have that big format to where you're
I
another.
definitely, and I think that's what I've been going through. I think that's, me, what I'm being prepared for. Everything that I'm going through is to have a bigger platform and know how to give back and, just be, not, see, sometimes when people try to be, a role model, and then they make mistakes and they fall, I think you just got to work on continue just being a good person yourself. And then once you're a good person yourself, it's just going to carry on and you're just going to be, be able to, because the sad thing is, like, you'll have somebody who do something great and then they'll fall and they'll do something, make a mistake, and people want to hate on them and not realize, okay, this person is human as well. You're going to make mistakes, you're going to stumble and fall along the way as well. But me, I don't want to go out there and say, okay, I want to be a role model. I just want to be, for me, it's like being a better person for myself. And I have a son. So me being a better role model for him, and the fact that my platform is continuing to grow, I'm just hoping that I will be able to hand something down to someone else and be able to, give them a positive message and, show that, okay, where you come from doesn't have to be where you end up at. Because I was from the inner south sides of Chicago, and now I'm here in Minnesota and my music is reaching in Japan and London and things like that. So I'm excited and I'm blessed and, grateful for every opportunity that I've, come in touch with so far. So it's just even amazing that how you guys even heard of me. I think I had got the email saying that somebody submitted my music to you. Like, I was actually shocked when I got that email.
Yeah, and a lot of times I don't. I'll sit in the studio and we'll have. I mean, we've got some 3,000 artists that we run through there, and of course, yours has come up quite a few times on the #1 list, and people are requesting you more and more and more. And I wish we could play all 3,000 people in a day, but we don't get that opportunity.
Yeah, that's a big list.
Oh yeah, and when they send us stuff in, I sit here in the studio for probably 30 hours a month, minimal,
Wow.
just listening to music, and then I'll listen to like the first verse and the chorus, and I remember when Marie popped yours on and said, oh, check this guy out, he's been requested a few times, and then I listened to it and she started changing. I'm like, whoa, time out, stop, keep it playing. But the one
Yeah,
thing,
and I think you guys are playing an artist that I wrote for, Jamesia Bennett. I think a song "Man for Me."
correct,
Well, yeah.
no,
So yeah,
no,
her song is doing very well. Me and her song, "The Find a Way to Love" and "Man for Me" has actually just been requested a lot over in Japan. So again, I'm still shocked because I'm thinking, okay, this little kid from the South Side of Chicago just always listen to music, and me dreaming about it. It's still amazing to me when it actually happens, and people, let me know how much they, admire my music. So it's awesome.
well, I tell you what, my respect level for you went off the charts for something that you said right before we went on the air, and we only had 5 minutes to talk by the time we got on there, and you said that you said the one thing that I respect more out of any artist than anything else. And I think you're only one of a couple that said it, that your music is to bring unity to everybody, because when there's so much hate in the world, like you just said in your song, that
Yes.
your thing is to bring unity to people because there's so much hate and violence and everything in the world, and that's what your main, I guess, goal is.
Yeah, definitely. That's what it was. It was actually after, like, I think it was after the Trayvon Martin killing, and then it was constantly happening. And it really was starting to weigh on me. I was like waking up with bad dreams and things like that. And I think the biggest part, because at the time my son was like 16, just getting ready to get his license. So that part was very scary for me, because I started thinking about my son getting pulled over, because to the world, he's going to look like a 17, 18-year-old man. But, to me, that's going to always be my baby, so that I was having a lot of fear. So that's when the idea came up, if I could have a perfect dream, what would it look like? So that's the concept came from me, and I wrote that song, and, people love that song, as well as the other song that I did. I don't think I sent you guys, called Pretty Enough, that I wrote for another young lady.
Yeah, no, we don't have that one. I'm telling you, man, you need to send us some more music. You got people dying for it.
I will definitely send you some. And actually, you guys should have a couple of CDs and a couple of T-shirts coming that way too, for the people who listen to and listen to my music or request it.
Yeah, we're gonna make them do a contest to get it. They're gonna have to go on on our Facebook page and stuff, and they're gonna have to put up a thing that says, in order to win it, to go into the drawing, they're gonna have to say, I love Mike Nicole's music.
Hey, sounds good to me.
Yeah. So,
and let me know who they are, because I would definitely love to reach out or Facebook message and just to say thank you and congratulations to the person who received it.
Yeah, I'll send you a list of them and stuff. Did you make sure you signed them?
I did.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, because I know that you're going to be way up there. I need one too for myself, by the way, because I know you're going to forget me later on. You'll be like, Travis, who? I'm going to tell you, brother, you get up there and you get to the show and you get to where you're going, I'm going to be standing there on the sideline. Hey, Mike. And if you don't recognize me, say, hey, Travis, I'm going to moon you. I'm going to pull down my pants. You're going to see the whitest ass you've ever seen in your entire life.
Well, I just say one thing. Make sure you go get a tan first, because I don't want to get no bright,
Trust me, at 60 years old, I'm almost 60. You're not going to want to see it whether I get a tan or not. And I'm going to draw a smiley face on it and turn it sideways. It'll be the creepiest thing you ever seen. You'll never be able to write music. You'll be having nightmares every night.
Oh, goodness gracious. No, please don't do that one. I'll be really having nightmares. I'm really going to need a new song, a perfect dream, a perfect nightmare or something.
Yeah, you won't be that. It'll be worse than Halloween flicks by Stephen King.
Oh, goodness.
So where do you get your main inspiration from? I mean, how long have you been singing?
Man, I've been singing since Chicago. But as far as like trying to get to that level, professionalism, it's probably just been the past 6-7 years. Inspiration usually has come from life, relationships, things that I go through. Sometimes, it's weird, because a lot of times, majority of the music it starts from in my head first. I hear melodies, or I'll be watching a movie and I'll hear something, and it just, I just feed off of it and just go with it, But like the whole project was written was actually, about the relationship, on and off again relationship I was in for like 8 years. And yeah, majority it's just been life experiences with those, the music has come from for me.
Now, have you had any vocal training or anything, or any music lessons, or you playing any instruments?
I actually had just started vocal training and music lessons, because I had actually lost my voice. I lost my voice for about a year, because after the song Lost Without You actually did really, really well, and I never did vocal training or anything like that, and I was in the studio a lot, and I was actually performing a lot after that, and I was overdoing it, and I had a small vocal rupture, and I couldn't speak for like 3 months, and I couldn't sing for a year, and I thought it was really a wrap for me. I thought it was over. I was kind of falling depressed after that. But after that, I had to have some vocal therapy and vocal training, and now I should be still doing it as much, but I really don't do it as much. In my head, in my mind, I'm still super young, but my body was like, yeah, you better realize that you're not that young anymore, so you better do your vocal exercise.
Oh, God, I know that feeling. I wake up every morning, my mind tells me I'm 20 until I got up to go pee. Sometimes I got to sit down, brother. My grandfather used to say, he used to wake up at 6 o'clock every morning to go pee, and his buddy told him, he said, well, why don't you wait until 7? And he goes, oh, you go to the bathroom? He said, no, I never walked to the bathroom. I just said I go pee at 6 o'clock. I'll be at that age, that pretty soon, I guess.
So is he wearing a diaper or what?
Oh hell, I don't know. I stayed away from him. I saw him and my grandmother having sex one time, and I never walked.
Oh my God!
I never walked near the room after that ever again. I'm still shaking and traumatized from it.
Yeah, I bet you are, man. You need some therapy after that one.
Yeah, I have to take that stuff that keeps you from puking. What's the name of that stuff? Those little white tablets. What is it? Zofran. Yeah, I take Zofran to keep from puking and having the nightmares.
Oh my goodness.
God, I shouldn't have bought it back up. If I could put that in a haunted house, good Lord, I'd scare people to death.
Yeah, that'll be the scariest thing in there.
Yeah. So you're talking about over in Europe and stuff. Are you going to be touring over there in Japan?
It's like I said, so funny that the project So It Was Written is like an older project, but the single which you guys play, Find a Way to Love, has been taken off, in Japan mostly, and it's doing really well. So I actually just started shooting a video for that, and we're trying to get it to the point to where I'm probably going to be going over there. We're just waiting to hear back. But also, which is funny, the single off of the next project, which we haven't released it yet, but it's a song called Let's Lay Back. And there's a radio DJ over there. He's been playing it just to see, just to get some ideas if people are feeling it. And it's actually taken off, and we haven't released that yet. So it's 2 singles in 2 different places that's doing really well, so we're trying to fill it out, let the math, let the people decide, where I should go, which direction I should be heading. Am I going to Japan for Find a Way to Love, or am I going over in London for the Let's Lay Back song?
I wished I had that going on. I'm stuck here in a rural town where men are men and sheep run like hell.
I know. I think somebody told me you had some vocals, man. You sing, right?
Oh, no. See the drums behind me? That's it.
Yeah.
If I start singing, my horses split, the cats, dogs run away. I wouldn't have any friends if I started singing. No, you don't want that.
You got that old school voice, man. You sound like you do some old Temptations or something going on in there.
Yeah, I tried doing the Barry White stuff before, but the plants around the house were dying. Have a plant over there.
One of those shower singers sound very well in the shower and in the car, huh? But when you turn the music down, it's totally different.
Man, I go outside and then start singing Barry White stuff, and the plants die. Get away from me with it, Harry Steeman. I can't be having that crap going on. But now, where you got any places that you're going to be performing up there in Minnesota, or anywhere in the U.S.?
I actually slowed down my performances here. I'm trying to reach more. So the thing is, it's so funny. It's crazy. Like when you're still up and coming. When people first heard "Lost Without You" here in Minnesota, they thought I was signed to a label already. And then when they find out that you're a local going out there, then it's like, okay, that's just, that's just Mike DeCo, So we're doing a different format right now, so we're reaching out first in Japan and London, letting everything grow organically there, and then we're going to work our way back this way. I do have a performance that I'm going to Atlanta next month, and I'll be there performing. So I've done a lot of performing here in Minnesota. Now, like, I'm trying to get to the next level of my career. So I'm trying to reach out and, grow fans outside of Minnesota and Chicago, so just trying a different format, gotta be smart with this business.
Yeah, it's not going to take you long to get a huge fan base, not with a voice like that. Hell, I'd have
thanks, I appreciate that.
If I could sing like that, I'd have 15 girlfriends. I'd probably be dead.
That's the funny thing. That's the funny thing. That's why it's been hard to get into, because it was like, nah, you just probably have too many women. I'm like, I didn't play that field already. I'm getting older, so I'm not looking.
Yeah, you got somebody. That was one of the questions somebody wrote in. Is he single?
That I always get that question. And right now, I'm married to the music.
Okay. Yeah, they want to know, is he gay? Ooh, he's hot. Has he got a girlfriend? Is he married? Is he single? I'm like, I don't know. I'll ask him. Write him. Go to his fan page and ask him.
And then they ask that question, but then they live no. So if I was single and ready to go, how we gonna make that happen?
I don't know, man. You get some stalkers running me up.
Oh my goodness, I've had my share of those as well.
Yeah, I know how that is. It sounds great
Yeah,
and
you
all,
like
but
a
it
player, man.
sucks.
It gotta be that hat. It got to be that hat that make you a player.
Oh yeah, I mean, we were talking about that before we got on the air, and I said because I couldn't see yours is tilted back, and I couldn't see the Chicago on it, which the Bulls have always been one of my favorite basketball teams and stuff.
Right.
And I said I'm gonna have to send you a Roll Tide hat, and you said, but I wear the Chicago or the Roll Tide or Atlanta Braves, either one.
Right. And see, now that's what it is. Now I always was wearing my Chicago. Now it's like Chicago. Now it's TC because I've been here. The Twin City, because I've been here since '95, and next I'm actually getting ready to move to Georgia.
We're at in Georgia.
I'm not 100% sure just yet. It's not too far from Atlanta, but that's the plan. And it actually by November, December, I'll be moving to Georgia.
Well, you have to let me know. You're only a stone's throw away from here. I mean, you're only a couple hours. Yeah, we have to get you set up on some venues up in Jacksonville and down in Orlando and stuff.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's definitely what I'm going to be working on. So, yep, that's what I've been planning on. I've actually been packing and getting everything situated. I have some family there. Not many, but I have some family there. So I'm definitely making that move there. It'll be the middle of November and beginning of December.
Well, you have to let me know. We'll get you down here and get you on a boat and take you fishing. Where I live in the bass capital of the world. I don't.
Let's do it.
I don't know if you like fishing, but I love it. I just never have time for it. I need you to come down so I can make an excuse.
That's what you know what? I need to do it. I really do. I've been fishing maybe twice, and I enjoyed it. I always say, I was going to get into it more. I know a lot of people in Minnesota. It's so cold here in the wintertime. A lot of people do the ice fishing. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good on the ice fishing. I don't like cold that much.
I am not going to go no damn ice fishing. They got to sit there for days to pull up a stinking fish that big and say, look what I got, look what I got. I can be down here in December in 80, 90-degree weather. I mean, we don't build snowmans here. We go to the beach. My kids used to, when they were smaller, used to build sandman. And, right. Stick a carrot in it, and about 10 minutes later, the thing's drooping. Of course, my son used to pull it off the nose and stick it like it was a wiener down on the thing and do the same with the eyes when he was little. But, no, we've got bass here that are, I don't know if you can see it in the screen, but they're 10 and 12 pounds.
Oh, that's not like, so do you fish for sport or do you fish to eat?
Oh, me, it's for eating. I don't care what the size is. For me, it's food in the stomach. I don't.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Because I know I watch a lot of those fishing shows, and they like fish for the sport and throw nice fish back, and I'm like, oh my goodness, that was good dinner right there.
Well, where I live at, Bassmasters holds their tournaments. They hold 4 or 5 tournaments here a year, and the guys go down all the way down the St. Johns River, so one of the only 2 rivers in the world that flows north, and they catch the fish up in Jacksonville, down in Central Florida, and they bring them back here, and then they do the catch and release, and they sit there and release all the big fish right in the area where I live at. So it's nothing for me to go out and catch, 8, 10 pounders.
Right there. They're releasing it right to you.
Yeah, 10-pounder make a couple of good sandwiches. I ain't kidding you. Forget that throwing them back.
That sounds amazing right now. I'm just getting done with work, so I can really go for a nice big fish right now.
Yeah, one of my kids, he went and caught it was a 40-pound catfish. And I mean, this thing is huge. As big as he is, when he was a little smaller. But now he's 17 and he's right at 6 foot. But, we have catfish down here that are huge. And I see these guys throwing them back in the water, and it's like, no, I don't think so. Not for this boy.
You my kind of guy. You catch to eat. That's what I'm talking about.
That thing's going in some cornmeal, going in some oil, and it's getting fried. I don't care what my cardiologist says. I am not baking catfish. That's like having sweet tea or cornbread with sugar in it. It ain't gonna happen.
Oh my goodness. See, that's that South. Down South, it's like always fish and sweet tea and See, that's why another reason. That's why I said I have to go. I'm going to Georgia. I love the Southern hospitality, the food, just everything. So I can't wait. To be honest with you, it's been long overdue for me.
When you have
the music is there.
when you have the Sweet Georgia peach cobbler, it's going to make you sing twice as sweet, and
Oh,
you'll never leave. That stuff's addicting. Before we get out of here, where can they find your music at?
They can find it all over iTunes, Spotify. You can find it on Reverb Nation. I mean, yeah, pretty much on the social releases. You know, so like iTunes, all those big, digital outlets.
Right. Well, you got some great music, Mike. I appreciate you letting us share it with our listeners and your fans and your fan base. I've seen it just on our radio station here. He's been on 3 months. About 3 months we've been playing your music, I guess. And I've seen you go all the way down from the bottom of the list, which is sitting at over 3,000, all the way up into the top 10, which is, amazing. I've got a few artists that have been like that, and yours is just like wildfire.
Man, I definitely appreciate that, man. I'm glad you guys, like I said, it was just an honor for you guys to reach out to me to let me know that people submitted my music, told you guys you had to listen to it. So I appreciate every single fan that I gained, because again, this to me, it was still like a dream, and it's still a dream to me when people listen to my music or request it or anything like that, So, and it gives me that incentives and that motivation to keep on, doing what I'm doing, because I know people out there actually still love good music with a message to it, that tells a story.
Well, it's nice to see that you've come from where you've been, in the south side of Chicago, to where you're at now, and that you're being an inspiration for people, and you're not up there jumping around like some crazy nut that you can't understand, and that you actually have a message in your music. And,
right.
And that right there is going to carry you, on up to, past New York, past Nashville, like you said, over into Japan and England and all over the world.
Definitely, and that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I continue to pray. So I definitely.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on tonight, Mike, and hopefully I'm going to get Marie to schedule you back on, man, because I love your music. I like your attitude and the way that you're trying to help the world out and stuff, and the way you're trying to help young artists by being an inspiration to them, man. Thank you so much.
Hey, Travis, man, I definitely appreciate you, man. Definitely appreciate everything. Continue to pray and everything. Right there. Thank you, man. Just give me this time. I definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, well, remember, when you get down toward Atlanta, give me a call. Hell, I'm not that far away. I will come pick you up.
Hey, sounds good. I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to the fishing. So you'll receive that call from me.
Yeah, and get with me as soon as you get down here so we can get you booked up in some venues like down in Orlando and in Jacksonville and some of the bigger places, especially Orlando. That's where a lot of people have come out of there. Have gone far. You got Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20. You got Jason Mraz. You've got all kinds of people that come out of, and they have a bigger radio station down there than I do, although I'm catching them really quick. But they're just straight talk radio, but they do feature a lot of people, and they're well known. I'll give them a shout out. It's 104.1 out of Orlando, and I'm not affiliated with them, but I'm wanting to send them some of your music so they can hopefully get it played on the air for you.
Man, I thank you very much, man. Definitely appreciate it. Really do.
All right, well, you have a good one, Mike, and we'll see you next time when you're on here, and I'll see you when you get up in Nashville. I'll be the one mooning you, or in New York. I'll be the one mooning you when you diss me, brother.
I definitely won't diss you, man. I remember you, because you're probably the only one wearing that hat.
Yeah. Oh, not up there. Last time I wore a hat in New York, they called me Garth Brooks, and I had on Reebok tennis shoes.
Well, thank you guys, man. Definitely appreciate it. Thank you again, man. So people look out for that new project coming out called Simply Wonderful. That'll be coming out later this year, at the end of this year. So. Okay.
Well, we appreciate it, Mike. You have a good evening, sir.
You do the same, man. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Bye.
That was Mike Nicole. And I think I got the right buttons back on. Nope, might have hit the wrong buttons. Okay, man, what a great young man. You guys that don't get his music or haven't heard it before, make sure you go on and check it out. You can find it on IITW Radio quite a few times during the day. You can also find it on, every social media outlet that there is. I know now he made me stumble. But you can find it on every social media platform there is. You can find it on Facebook, Spotify, Reverb Nation, probably Pandora too. You guys make sure you go on there and check his music out, though, and support these artists like this. He's a great young man. I don't know how old he is. You know how old he is? He has a son, 17. 16, 17. Huh? Yeah, I know he's not as old as me. Anyways, yeah, you guys make sure you support these artists and stuff. They do a lot. You know, it costs a lot of money to get them where they're at now. And, you know, and the fact that this guy has a message of love and he wants to keep unity and stuff in America. We talked for a little bit before he got on the air. And his biggest concern, which should be everybody's concern, that the way things are all crapped out right now and the way the split is in America. So, all right, let's get to some commercials real quick. Got to pay some bills.
I don't know which one's first.
You got a list?
It's right there.
Okay. Let's do that one then.
All right.
We got Hair by Barbie. Barbie does a great job. Best job I've ever had done on my hair. Probably the best job you've ever had done too, huh, Chris?
Yeah.
And she does beards, all kinds of stuff. She does the highlights, everything. She is by appointment only. If you just walk in, you're not going to get in a chair. She has 2 locations that she works out of in 916 St. John's Avenue in Palaca, Florida. And also 440C on... No, 440 on CBL Drive. Unit 103. And that's in St. Augustine. But you can reach her at 904-501-9542. But make sure you get an appointment. She won't let you down. And her prices are pretty good too. Now we have got the next one. Animal Healthcare Center. Dr. Nagy and Dr. Smith, I dealt with Dr. Nagy and Dr. Smith a couple of times. When you guys got someplace you want to take your animal to, and I know there's a few places around Putnam County, and I'm not saying they're bad places. You know, anybody that takes care of animals are usually pretty good. These two, I know, I've seen their work. They shut down their whole office just to save my dog's life. They shut down everything, but they do digital x-ray, spaying, neutering, even dental cleaning. People don't think about it, but your dogs get cavities just like humans. They need to have that tartar.
Also, it leads to heart disease. If they don't have it done, it will increase heart disease in animals and humans.
Yeah, so you guys, I mean, you don't think about it, and it doesn't cost that much to get your dog's teeth cleaned. You know, milk bones are not going to do it all the time.
No, trust me, it's a lot cheaper to get it done before they get the heart disease than after.
Well, even that, and have a dog with, you know,
Nasty
missing
breath.
teeth.
Ooh, some nasty breath.
Looked like he came from someplace on the other end of our county. You know, was their dog Fido? No, his toothless. But they do. They also do boarding and do small animal orthopedics and stuff. They have low-cost vaccines as well. You guys remember, you know, we keep having outbreaks of rabies all over the United States. We've had a few here a few years ago, and some of the animals, I remember there was a sign that says, watch out for rabid raccoons. So, you know, rabies is something that's probably always going to be around. Make sure your animals, you take care of them. And don't leave them in cars right now, this time of year. And another thing is, don't take them to the beach without water if you're in Florida. Make sure they got plenty of fresh water during the day. Okay, we got cars. But thank you, Dr. Nag and Dr. Smith, for saving my dog's life. Cars, that's Community Auto Repair Specialist. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. They are closed on Saturday and Sunday. Do we know if they're still looking for an employee?
I'm not sure. I do believe they still are.
Okay. If you guys are looking for a job and you know a little bit about mechanics, go over there and talk to them. Jason or Tracy. Oh, Tracy's not there. She's got the new baby.
Right, Jason's usually the one you want to get in touch with.
Yeah, she's too busy taking care of that new infant.
Oh, she's beautiful.
Yeah, she is. Not this guy. I don't know how she does it, but probably because she's still young. But you guys go over there and see them. They do all kinds of work. They'll rebuild your motor. They could do front end alignments. I think we just announced the winner for the last giveaway from them, and I think they have one more giveaway that they're doing. And I've got to get with Jason this week and find out. I believe it's for a front end alignment, and we're going to start that next week sometime. Now, oh, and by the way, you can find them over in Palaca. They're by the Taco Bell, just past the Taco Bell between there and 20 and 19, where the Walmart's right there. You got Winn-Dixie and Walgreens and stuff. They're between there and Taco Bell. This looks like a red barn. That's where they're at. I keep getting a bunch of calls. Where they at? Where they at? I can't find them.
The big red barn.
Yeah, you drive right by them. Look for the big red barn. You cannot miss the big red barn. You know why? Because there's a car lot there as well.
You know, I remember they used to have red barns when I was growing up. It used to be an awesome place to get your chicken. I don't think they have any anymore.
No, the inside of their showroom doesn't look like a place where you go for.
No, it's absolutely beautiful. It's so clean in there. They're so nice. They got the friendliest service.
And they got books you can sit down and read too. I don't know if they have a TV or not. Okay, let's go to the stand. Matt and Luann. I love these guys. Andrea and William work there as well. But the stand, Matt and Luann, they have two locations, one in Satsuma and one in East Palaca. One in East Palaca is by the weight station. If you can't find the one in Satsuma, it's probably because you can't see. Put your glasses on you. They're right there in catty corner to the Dollar General in front of where the old Circle K used to be before it shut down for the new highway coming through. Go by there and see those guys. I mean, tonight, after I get off the air, I'm making me a BLT because their tomatoes are so stinking good. I'm going to make me a BLT.
Can we cut the show early? You just made me hungry.
I might make you one. I don't know if you hang around before you leave.
That just made
You
me
want
hungry.
one, Chris?
Their tomatoes are so good. They're so yummy.
Should he be eating bacon?
Huh?
Should you be eating bacon?
Yeah,
I'll pull
I'm
the
fine.
bacon out and put it in my sandwich. He
Don't-
doesn't need to worry about the bacon. It's okay.
Don't rat me out in my cardiologist. Hey, I made me a tomato sandwich the other day. I slapped some mayo
oh my
on
goodness. They've got the best produce. The sweetest corn I've ever eaten. Those rambutans. Oh my gosh. I tried one of those the other day. They're good. I stole your strawberries, so you never did get to find out how yummy those were.
it. Yeah, I know. I come back in the studio to eat my strawberries, and they were all gone. I'm
I
like,
left you the container.
You had strawberry seeds all over your face.
I did not.
Yeah, you did. I knew it was you. 'Cause
It's
Chris
like that
had
little
already
kid
left.
with his hand in the jar there. I didn't get caught.
Chris had already left, so I knew it was you.
So,
Same with that big basket of cherries I got from over there.
what cherries?
How were those things?
What cherries? I
What
don't know what
cherries?
you're talking
My
about.
butt. I had one cherry out of them, or two cherries, and those damn things were so good. And then
They
all of a
were.
sudden
They
I
were
go in
really
there to get
good.
more, and the whole thing is gone. The whole plastic sleeve or
It was a little
container is
place- It
gone.
was a little container. It only weighed, what, about a pound and a half? No, actually, it's about 3 pounds. It was a little container.
Yeah, those things look good.
They were yummy.
Yeah, I bet they were. Smart ass. Start leaving my stuff in my truck when I come up to the studio.
So
But the corn there too. I had some corn the other night.
that
from
is
there.
sweet
That-
corn. Oh my goodness.
That yellow and white corn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that stuff was amazing. I just slapped a little bit of butter on it. No salt. My doctor won't let me have salt anymore. That sucks. Eastside Towing and Collision and Towing. My buddy Bob over there. You guys need to go see him. He's a family man, trying to raise 2 kids on his own, but he does towing, custom painting, collision work, and mechanic work. As a matter of fact, they're putting a new timing chain in on my red truck. Bob, I need my truck. I got to get hay.
Yeah, the horses will be at your door if you don't get it fixed soon.
Yeah, well, Bill's working on it. I drove by there today, and he was working on it. But he is at 286. I just got new glasses. You guys are going to have to bear with me.
Yes, it's
286.
286 Highway 17.
Highway 17. Actually, they put new lenses in it.
And
So now
that's,
my eyes are
yeah, that's south in East Palaca, Florida. Kind of see
look.
that ice machine? He's right directly behind the ice machine.
Yeah, it's 386-227-0003. He's supposed to be getting an ice machine out of there so he has more parking. But you guys want a kick butt paint job done, and from what I understand, Cletus is supposed to be over there doing a commercial.
Oh no, not Cletus.
Yeah, Bob was having some.
Bob's probably going to chase him out of there. He keeps getting in trouble with those paint jobs he's doing.
Cletus is going to go over there and slap a $5 paint job on the side of his truck.
Oh, my goodness. That's okay. It should give Bob a lot more work. They'll have to fix everything Cletus does. But no, check out those stripes. I mean, it's hard to get stripes perfect like that.
He does big, if you look at the top picture there, you'll see this big RV in the back. He does RVs and all kinds of stuff. Motorcycle tanks. And he does custom print, all that kind of stuff. That's where I'm going to have my Jeep redone.
Yeah, and he does free estimates. So make sure you go in and see Bob Baldwin. Okay,
let's see what we got coming up in the news. There is a bunch of crazy crap going on right now.
Right now?
Yeah.
Have you been living lately?
The whole damn world is messed up, and we're right in the middle of it.
Oh my gosh, I think it's getting crazier every day. I mean, it's unreal.
Today, they announced the state attorney's office, for you guys that been following the story over in St. Pete. The guy that came out, and I'm not going to get into a big debate here, so don't be writing in and saying a bunch of crap. The guy that shot the black guy over there, here's what happened. There's a black guy pulled up in a car with his wife and kids. He pulls up. She pulls into a handicapped parking space. The guy that's showing down there his face on the bottom, he gets out, comes up and starts talking to the woman. I guess, I don't know whether he's bitching at her or what he was doing. The black dude comes out of the store, pushes the guy to the ground. I think he's 40, was he 41?
I believe he's 48.
47, 48. Anyways, he pushes him down to the ground. The guy pulls out a gun and shoots him. Under the Florida Stand Your Ground law, the sheriff let him go. I mean, he didn't really have a choice after they kind of reviewed the tapes and stuff. It did look like an act of violence on the other guy. Now, whether he deserved to be shot or not, I don't think anybody deserves to be shot. I think if the guy just pulled out his gun and pointed it at him, that would probably have been enough. But who knows who's in fear for what, when something like that happens. I wasn't there. A jury decide that. The guy's innocent until he's proven guilty.
Yeah, Michael Draka, I believe is how you pronounce the last name. He was 47. He's being held at the county jail on $100,000 bound.
But you had the Reverend Al Sharpton coming down. And
why does everything have to be made into race? I mean, it doesn't matter white, black, old. I mean, the man was pushed down. It turned into a shooting. That should have been left at a shooting. Why did it have to turn into race?
I don't know. Al Sharpton, here's a guy that tax evaded for years, and they got Malfa right now that they're putting in prison, or they're probably going to put him in prison. I didn't see the outcome at the end of the day on the trial. I'm sure the jury isn't back in yet. But here you got a guy that started racial stuff, years ago, and, I'm not a racist.
I'm not
but
either.
You got Al Sharpton. I call it like I see it. The guy should stay out of what he's doing, out of the politics crap. They already announced he came down. The sheriff told him to go back to New York and mind his own damn business. To me, yes, he should. The sheriff in his statement said that, he had to wait on the state attorney's office to decide what they were going to do. He showed up at Trayvon Martin's thing and made a big deal out of that, and it turned out that, when he kept calling George Zimmerman a white guy, turns out George Zimmerman was Hispanic, but he keeps sticking his nose where it doesn't belong. Let the court systems decide. Don't show up and make it a race thing.
I believe in getting all the facts before we do anything, kind of like the Putnam Way does. They make sure they get all the facts in.
Yeah, that's what I like about Mike Nicole's music.
Amen.
He's not talking about any race crap. He's not
he grew
starting
up
about
in it.
hating each other.
He understands it. He just wants to push love, not violence.
Yeah, and I think that's, Al Sharpton needs to go down and talk to Mike Nicole.
Amen.
And
he needs to get a new message.
Yeah, and talk to Mike Nicole and say, hey, how are you doing this? And I'm doing this. No,
No, all
I think Mike
hurting,
Nicole would
hurting
probably
their cause. Sharpton's hurting the cause instead of helping it.
I think Mike Nicole could probably set him straight and tell him to start loving people instead of, doing what he's doing. You know what? Let's pull up the next thing that's in the news. Right there. My friend Lee. I haven't put her on in a few.
Yeah, we were giving her a little bit of a break.
I haven't put her up in a few weeks. Not a few weeks.
Just the last couple shows. We missed 2 shows.
About over a week now, I guess. Hello, Lee. I got to give her the shout out. Why didn't you guys get me a pretty picture of her? I wanted something with her tongue sticking out.
Because unlike you, I thought Lee was very pretty in that picture. And unlike you, I just wanted to give her something nice. I mean, we gave her 2 days off, so let's start off nice, and then
No.
I'll have to go through your pictures. I mean, you haven't been hunting her down and getting her pictures at work.
I can't rag on her when you're sticking pictures like that up.
I know, she's too pretty to rag on, isn't she? I think that's why we did it.
Jesus. Guys, give me a
I gotta have
break.
fun with you. So,
Yep. Lee
Well,
knows
hi,
I
Lee.
love her. I know her husband real well, Ben. He's one of my real good friends.
some of the nicest people you ever meet.
Yep. Did we find out if Calvin O's?
We're still working on the venue just to be confirmed, and we've had a first confirmation. We always do a second confirmation. So,
No, did we find out if Calvin O's music got put back up on Facebook?
I do not know that. He's been sick, so.
Calvin's sick. My buddy's sick.
Yeah, he's got a cold. He's trying to get better. So,
crap.
shout out, Calvin. Hope you get feeling better.
Calvin, I need to send you some NyQuil.
So,
Yeah, Calvin, I hope you feel better, buddy. Calvin's got some great songs.
amen.
Okay.
One Nation Under God, Fooled Around and Fell, Jane Hancock. Check them out.
The NFL this week.
Oh, my goodness.
Back at it again. Miami Dolphins. Oh, my God. Miami Dolphins, I used to love you guys. Used to be one of my
this
favorite
one kind of
teams
really blew me.
growing up. But I've gotten to where I'm not going to put up. Even the NFL's pissing me off. Anyways, the police society down there, the NFL, or the Dolphins, offered them a discount because they were going to, and now this is, they were talking about having a first responders day down there with the sheriff's department and everything else. The Miami Dolphins, I'm trying to watch my mouth here because this kind of stuff just pisses me the hell off. They offered them a discount. Not, you'll get in free, a discount to get into the games. Okay, I get that. But then the Miami Dolphins, you had a couple of them that started kneeling down again during the national anthem and started raising their hands up. The whole reason this whole thing started with Kaepernick is because of police brutality. Now, if you're going to have the police there and the first responders, don't disrespect them by raising your hand. And there's Kaepernick right there, Colin Kaepernick. The NFL, ever since he did it, they pretty much blackballed him from the NFL now, him and a couple other players. But, I'm not going to get into the whole thing, and that's not the place to do it. There's plenty of other places, and I haven't heard anything from Kaepernick since he got the boot. But how are you going to have the police there and have a first responders day and then kneel, because that's what the whole thing was started over, was police brutality. How are you going to have them there and then disrespect them by doing this crap? That's
Show
what
some
they did in the
respect, people.
60s.
Grow up. Go show some respect.
That's what they did in the 60s. It meant black power. There's no black power. Get over it. God, the one thing that pisses me off is freaking racism. You guys want to fight. This week they had, oh, God, I don't know if I want to get in this now or after we have another break. I'll probably hold off on that to after the other break. I want to read this thing about this firefighters. We have the Quench the Thirst thing that we do every year. And in Quench the Thirst, what we do is we help collect water for the firefighters. Now, just because this is in Putnam County, there's people that listen to us all over the world. You guys that have volunteer firefighters, support those volunteer firefighters. All across the United States, this country was founded on volunteer firefighters. Support them. No matter where you go in the United States, the volunteer firefighters get paid about $4 a call, depending on what their certifications are. They might get $8 a call, but if the fire lasts for 3 or 4 days, they still only get, that's considered one call. I had somebody write in and tell me the other day, it pissed me off so bad. Well, yeah, they go and do 4 or 5 calls in a day. Okay, a-hole. You take $4 a call times 5 calls a day. I'm no mathematician, but that sounds like $20 to me. In a full day's time, $20?
That's not even minimum wage.
No.
Good
It's
grief.
puke wage. But they go and they risk their lives. They stand out on the side of roads. The other night, I went to a motorcycle wreck and then a car crash. I'm standing there on the side of the road with our officers. Matter of fact, I got to give a shout out to Zach from the State Troopers Department.
Yeah, that's
or
not
Florida Highway Patrol.
Yeah, and that's not a 9-to-5 job either. That's all hours.
Yeah, and
They
we're
ask
standing
you
there,
to
and
do that.
people come flying by. They have no respect. They go flying by, and the first responders are standing out there, the highway patrol, the sheriff's department, and these a-holes that go flying by, and then the ones that creep by real real slow.
Oh, the neckers.
Yeah, the rubberneckers.
Yep, the rubberneckers.
But with the firefighters and stuff, to quench the thirst, what we do every year, and I hope everybody that's listening to this in every county around the United States will start one of these programs. I call it Quench the Thirst. I think Tammy came up with the name Quench the Thirst a couple years ago, and last year we were able to raise over 100,000 bottles of water for just our county, which is amazing. This was not donated by the grocery stores. What the grocery stores around here have done, the Save-A-Lot in Crescent City and the Hitchcocks in East Palatka and also in Interlochen, what these store managers have done, Joanne, Misty, and Mary over at Save-A-Lot, is they've set it up to where they get their cashiers to ask people if they want to donate or buy a 18 or 36 pack of water, 24, whatever is in the cases. They're only a couple dollars. By doing that, between Joanne, Mary, and Misty, they were able to collect over 100,000 bottles of water. And not to mention the 900 pounds of snacks and Slim Jims and stuff that we also help collect.
Isn't that like 3 20 ounces, 4 20 ounces? I mean, we buy those all day long, don't we?
Yeah.
The price
Yeah.
of 4 20 ounces, we can buy a 24 or 36 pack of water for these firemen.
Yeah, I've already purchased a bunch of them, and we do the same thing throughout the year. But you guys get involved. If you're in a different county, start your own Quench the Thirst. Get people to donate. Get them to drop it off for these volunteer firefighters, first responders, stuff like that. We need to support these people. I want to read something that I didn't get his permission, but I'm going to read it anyways.
I have one where we put where his name was blocked off until we can refer to it. I don't think you would have a problem with us reading it, but
Well, it's a story that was put up, and it wasn't in our state. It says, so tonight I was invited to go to a firehouse and eat dinner with Brian and his shift for his last meal on shift. As we sat around the table, I can't read that one. I got glare coming off that screen. That's why I got to read it
sorry,
up
I was
here.
trying to help you see better. Your bifocals.
Got new lights in the studio, and
I was trying to help you. I'm sorry.
One
Please read that
side is
again. I'm sorry. I didn't
blinding
mean to
me.
interrupt it. It was very important.
one side is blinding me. I'm just reflecting back into my glasses. So it says, let me start all over now.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
It was a guy who went to a dinner with the firefighters and stuff, and he's not a firefighter. And he says, so tonight I was invited to go to a firehouse and eat dinner with Brian in his shift for his last meal on shift. As we sat around the table enjoying the food and conversation, they were dispatched for a structure fire. As I watched all 6 spring from their seats, immediately heading out to the bay to go do what they do, not one of them said a word about having to walk away from their dinner table of hot food and go save a house and potential lives of humans and animals. As I sat there alone for a minute, I looked around the table at the plates of food and realized that no matter what they are doing, and that's no matter what they're doing, whether they're at home or whatever, where they're at, who they're with, when the tone drops, they go. So next time anyone wants to question their job, what they do, how much they get paid, why they get paid to sleep there, what they do on their downtime, I can guarantee you that when they're needed, they will be there. And that is so freaking true. I know a lot of these firefighters. I mean, most of them in the county that I live in, and some out. I've even got family that's volunteer. My brother-in-law, Steven, he's a volunteer firefighter. One of my best friends, Ronnie Mooney, he's a volunteer firefighter. These guys don't care what time it is. I remember I was at a fire last year, and the guy said, he goes, yeah. I said, how you doing? He goes, I'm doing all right. I'm going to probably be in trouble because it was my daughter's sweet 16, and I had to jump up and leave her party before the candles were even lit on the cake. And I said, oh, man, that stinks. And he said, yep, but she understands that what I do here is important. Not more important than her birthday, but it's saving lives. And to that, you got to have a lot of respect for that. Okay.
Yeah, remember that empty table.
Yeah, look at that table. Put that picture up there again.
Remember that in the back of your head. They get up and leave no matter what they're doing. Look, there's a steak that hadn't even got a couple bites out of it yet. They don't care. They care about lives more than anything else in the world. That's why it's called volunteer. They volunteer. It doesn't matter if it's 1 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It doesn't matter what they're doing. They're there.
Yeah, and people bitch and complain because I know our Satsuma Fire Department down here, they're paid. And I've heard a couple of people bitch and complain about, well, they get paid, they're getting paid to sleep and stuff. Let me tell you what. I live not far from the Satsuma Fire Department, and I can tell you all night long I hear those trucks going. As long as we have crazy people out on the roads and drunk drivers and deer, we live in a heavily populated area with deer and turkeys and everything else. But at nighttime, your dad's vehicle's been hit, 5 or 6 times deer run out in front of him. That's crazy.
And those people that are texting and driving are...
Yeah, especially young kids texting and driving.
Yeah, you guys got to quit, man. I mean, shoot, look up. Quit looking down at your phone. If you got to stop and text, you need to stop and text. That's why it's called stop.
I can't tell you how many wrecks I've been out to where there's young kids that are sitting there. Either, some of them have been dead and still got their stinking cell phones in their hands.
Yeah, they're so busy talking on the phone, they forget to put their seatbelts on, too.
But the text, they never got to finish.
Yep.
No seatbelt on.
It's not worth it.
Okay, what other commercials we got coming up on break here? So next week we're gonna have the week after we're still setting the format up, but we're gonna have a lot more
Yeah, we're working on program formats and changing things around, and the programs are gonna be a whole lot better, a whole lot crazier. Y'all are not gonna want to miss them.
You know what? Let me give you the shout outs real quick. So I know tomorrow at school, my buddy Aiden has to get to sleep. Aiden, go get in bed. I know you're listening to the show. Time's up, buddy. It's 8:30. You got to get in bed. To my niece, Rosie. She is a little sweetheart. She's, I think, 11, 10, 11, 12. She's going to kill me for not knowing her exact age. But she's so smart.
I'm going to let Uncle T get in trouble.
She's so smart. I always can think like she's 19 or 20 or 30.
Yeah, she's keeps
smart.
you and her dad in charge.
My brother Lester, who is mentally handicapped.
Hi, Lester.
Lester, I love you, buddy. Mama B, she listens. She is one of our biggest fans. She listens religiously every night. If she can't listen, she goes on and listens to it the next day on YouTube. I tried calling back today because we got Calvin O that's supposed to be over here on the 21st doing a concert. And I called back today, but Whitney did not call me back. Whitney, if you're listening, call me back so I know if we're going to do this thing over there or not. I'm not going to say where it's at yet. I announced that the other night, probably a little premature, but I've got a few other places that's contacted me. So, but Calvin O, if you guys haven't heard his song, One Nation Under God.
I'll show a shout out to the computer guys.
Oh, yeah, the computer guys. Yeah, they've got a good thing over there. I'm probably going to be talking about it next couple of days. Shout out to Betty and her husband. Thank you, guys, Mr. Wayne, for the new police scanner. Now I can keep up with stuff a lot better. I've got one. I ordered a couple other ones, but they're not like the old ones. And he had one of the old ones that was in a box that was brand new. So it's new old stuff. But the older scanners, they're a lot better. I don't like the new technology crap.
And I'm just going to do a shout out to all our fans. Thank you guys for listening to us and making us what we are.
Yep. There ain't no doubt about that. Let me see what my other notes say here. Okay. Let's go to O'Reilly's. O'Reilly's Auto Parts. JR. Hey, JR needs to give us another oil change contest or give us something. I give him a shout out every night. JR's always been good to my readers and to the listeners, not only on the Putman Way, but on IITW radio. So you guys get over and see them. They guarantee they're at 619 South Florida Avenue. It's South 19, right down the road from Walmart, and between CVS and Walmart. You can't miss them. Big O'Reilly sign. Go in there and tell JR or Tracy or Brian, any of them that we sent you over there, and they will match your price, competitors' prices. A lot of times they'll even beat it, except for internet stuff. If you guys also, JR is still looking for a trailer, 16 foot by 8 foot. So if you guys know anybody's got a trailer for sale, contact JR over there. Let's see.
Let's D.
Which one's the other one? Oh, Amanda. Palaka
Yes,
Cinema.
Palaka Cinema. I think we need to go check out the movies. I haven't been to the movies in years.
They redid a bunch of stuff over at the theater.
Her ad makes me want to go there. She's so upbeat.
I know. She's kick butt. Besides, if you guys look behind me, that Batman poster.
Say it, Travis.
Batman. It took me a long time to get that poster from her. Almost went to jail because I was going to steal it. But no, Amanda is great. I love
Speaking
her.
of Batman, what you got going on today?
We're getting ready to. Oh yeah, my new Batman watch came in. Batman and Superman. You guys see that? Read it and weep. You can't see the reflection coming off of it.
It's okay, we got it.
It's like the color of my hat.
Yeah,
But
well, it
I
changes colors, man. I think it's
Yeah.
cool as all get out. In case
So
you
let's-
guys didn't know it, I'm a big Batman
Yeah, let's
fan.
check out what Amanda's got going on.
Yeah, put Amanda's up there. Hey gang, I'm here with Amanda down at Palaka Cinema. Amanda, what kind of deals you guys got going on?
Right now we have our 250 Tuesday. 250 Concession Tuesday is a deal we offer on concession items. Tickets will never be 250, but still come on down, help us support 250 Tuesday. And as always, I want to thank the people of Palaka and Putnam County for #KeepItLocal. We really do appreciate your support, and we wouldn't be here without it. And you know we always love the kids. Everything we do is for the kids. So bring them on down, help us out, and as always, #KeepItLocal.
All right, thank you, Amanda. You're the best.
They're in the
Okay.
Palaka Mall, aren't they?
They're what?
They're in the Palaka Mall, aren't they?
Yeah, they're in Palaka Mall.
Yeah, I think I'm going to
She's-
check out the movies this week.
She's a little sweetheart. Which one do we have? Benny O's.
Yes.
Okay, Benny O's pump repair, well restoration, well replacement, well abandonment, and he does drilling new wells, but he's not doing them in Putnam County right at this minute. He might start back up here pretty soon, but he's down in Volusia County, but he does service some parts of Putnam County. If you guys want one of the best well drilling guys around, he's the guy to see. If you're in Volusia County, we have a lot of people in Volusia County. Give him a call at 386-334-1593. If you got enough money, hell, he might drive to Georgia. I would.
I'll tell you, he's one of the most honest guys I've seen in a long time when it comes to well work.
Tell you
He
what,
doesn't try to sell you something you don't need.
if I ever move out of the state of Florida, I will pay him to come to where I live and dig my well.
Amen.
I know he probably want to go do that in the Bahamas, but, you know, #keep it local, as Amanda would say. Mr. Bird Auto Sales. You guys, you know, he has buildings down there that'll fit every need you've got. He got tiny little buildings. He got big buildings. He's got screened-in buildings. He got greenhouses, gazebos. If you don't have the credit, don't be afraid to stop by there because they do rent to own. They're not going to do a credit check. He's not going to embarrass you and go, well, you suck. You don't have any credit. Get the hell out of my place. No, he's not going to do that. He'll just sit down. He'll say you want to rent to own. You want to finance it. Just tell him you want to rent to own it. And it may be a case of where you do have good credit, but you're only going to be in a place for a certain time. Maybe you're a snowbird coming down for 3 months out of the year. And you just need a place to store your kayaks and that kind of whatnot when you come down here. Because you're living in a sailboat or, you know, at a marina or whatever. You can rent one of these from him. You can rent to own it. And you can also get it financed. But they're right there in San Mateo. If you're headed north through San Mateo, they're between Satsuma and East Palaka. They're right there on the right-hand side. If you're coming from Palaka, they're on the left-hand side. But they're a family-owned and operated business. He works it with his 2 sons.
They're by that old red caboose where the old ice cream shop used to be. Right across the street. Well,
Yeah.
basically across the street.
You
so
can't
you guys
hardly
know
see
where to
that
find
thing
them.
anymore.
Yeah.
They got it all covered up. Okay. Is that the last one?
Yes.
Before we get going because we've only got about 15 minutes left. Tammy, she's co-hosting on here with me. Tammy is starting a page for women. You ladies, if you want to get on there and talk about makeup and all that stuff, I am not the guy to get involved with that. I had a long talk with Tammy about it. She's opening up her own page. Do I know the name of it yet?
If you give me 1 minute, I will look.
Yeah, look up the name for it. We need to give her a boost on this. But she's opening up a page so you ladies can get on there and talk about whatever it is women talk about that guys don't want to talk about. I don't know if it's oxytocin or makeup, or she was telling me today that she was going to talk about some of these fingernail polishes and stuff that are coming out of Asia and stuff that are causing women's...
anything you use out of states, a lot of times, like flip-flops and that, they can cause rashes and stuff because they have chemicals in them.
Rashes? Some of these women's toenails are falling out and fingernails.
I'm good, thanks. I don't buy foreign products. That's why I don't usually wear makeup.
See my fingers? I keep them trimmed. I keep them clean. But you do not see any stinking fingernail polish on them. Not even the thumbs or the toenails. But
What's under the hat?
I'm not going to show you my feet. There's no mascara.
I'm
See?
messing
Look,
with you.
no
Yeah,
mascara.
he doesn't have a makeup guy.
I don't have any makeup.
He chased the makeup guy away.
I don't have a makeup artist or any of that crap.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know how to put rouge on or blush or mascara, any of that. And my eyelashes are all way too long. They hit my glasses. But anyways, Tammy is going to be starting up a page where you ladies can go there and talk about women's problems, whether it's menopause or menopause or whatever it is, oxytocin.
She just has it labeled as TZLT. And we'll have to ask Tammy what it talks about. I mean,
Tammy, if you're listening, go on YouTube and...
Yeah, send me a message on Facebook real quick, honey, and I'll let them know what the name of your page is going to be.
Tell us what the name of the page is. Now, Tammy works her butt off for the Putman Way and stuff.
Yes, she does. She doesn't sleep.
She's been my best friend since I was in middle school. Still my best friend. But you guys go on and check out the new page she's going to be starting. I think she's looking at firing that thing up pretty soon. Any of you advertisers that want to get over there and get a good deal on some advertising, call her up. Send her a text. Go on Facebook on The Putman Way. Before I move on to the rest of the stuff, if you guys want to check us out, you can check us out on the IITW radio. We do have an app. If you have an Android, you can go on Google Play Store, type in IITW radio, and bring it up. It doesn't cost you anything. When it says, do you want to pay with a credit card? Hit the skip button. Download the app onto your phone. We have some great artists. Music plays 24/7, except when I'm on the air talking my butt off.
Yeah, we have giveaways every week. All of our art. We have artist interviews Mondays and Wednesdays. We have, guests every week in the studio or sometimes outside of the studio. We're fixing to start covering some events outside of the studio, so y'all gonna want to keep track of what's going on.
Yeah, on the 21st, I'll be doing a live broadcast from the
secret location.
Yeah, secret location. Not going to announce it yet. With Calvin O.
Shh.
And then we're going to start doing some more of that stuff too to get you guys some good talent. We have some talent here in Putnam County. The only thing is that a lot of the talent is moving out of here, and we're trying to bring some talent back and get some of these big artists with bigger names in here, and maybe they can help some of our smaller artists out. But the main thing is to bring you guys some entertainment, so you don't have to go out of the county and see it. You can go right there to the secret location, which we're going to announce. Whitney, call me. Yeah, you guys go and check out Tammy's stuff, but you're going to check out the IITW. Go on there on YouTube, hit the subscribe button.
Yeah, that way you can get notified of any things we have coming up. We have a lot of, specials going to be coming up. We have a lot of... Cletus is going to be doing some silly things coming up. Cletus, it's always silly when it comes out of him. He tries real hard to be serious, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're even going to have Crackhead Sally on here. Tomorrow night we have Greg Williams on.
Yes.
Greg, I was going to get into some political stuff. Tuesday nights are our political shows. You guys will not want to miss this. We don't cut anybody any slack, especially Greg. He's talking about Trump having big cojones last time.
Yeah, we ask everybody, we may not agree, but we always agree to that we don't have to be against each other. We can agree to disagree.
I remain unbiased on this stuff. You know, some of the stuff, most of the stuff Greg and I agree on. A couple of things we've not disagreed on it, but him and I are still friends. He's not only my attorney, he's a client. No, I'm a client. Not so much. I don't ever get in trouble, except for my mouth on the air.
I was going to say, now wait a minute.
But
so you
tomorrow
may not
night,
need for that.
Tomorrow night we're going to be talking about Peter Strzok getting fired today, getting the axe. We got Omarosa with her lying mouth. We got Helen will be shooting down Democrats and Republicans, both. We'll be going to can the Antifa people, the Black Lives Matters, the white supremacist idiots. I'll be jumping on all of them's ass tomorrow night.
Yeah, and if you guys have questions or comments, you know, as long as you don't have race baiting or stupid things, you know, feel free to put them on our YouTube chat, and we'll be happy to ask them if they're intelligent questions.
Yeah, just because I see one thing, you know, see things one way doesn't mean I'm right or wrong. I base my stuff off of facts. I don't care about CNN, Fox News, any of that crap. I base my stuff off of real digging and stuff that Tammy digs up for me, stuff that Marie digs up. And I take, you know, with every story, there's three sides. There's your side, their side, and someplace in the middle is the truth. But you know, I'm gonna be jumping on Clinton's butt tomorrow night. You know, probably Bill and Hillary. You know, race baiting and all this crap. Oh, I've got to mention something too, because somebody had written in about it. The Sheriff's Department. There's been people complaining they couldn't get through. A few different things that the detectives haven't called them back. They can't get transferred.
No, this is the Putnam County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, Putnam County Sheriff's Department. There was I don't know if it was a company digging around there or what happened, but there was a fiber optic line that got cut. There was some stuff that happened with the computer system over there, and things got a little fouled up. They do have it straightened back out. Please do not bash them because of problems they have. We have problems every night here in the studio. Sometimes it's my fault for being an idiot, not knowing how to do it. Most of the time, 99% of the time, Chris will figure out and get them corrected, or Maria will figure out and get them corrected. Or, you know, somebody will. I sit here and try to hide from it.
Yeah, but you know, everybody's got problems. I mean, shoot, our cable was going in and out all day today, so it's just, you know, there's been a lot of storms and everything else. We just got to bear with it and, you know, appreciate the fact that the Sheriff's Department's doing everything they can to get the backlogs done and take care of things. And, you know.
I got a lot of good comments on Joe Wells. You know, Joe Wells is like Jim Cantrell.
Yes.
Jim Cantrell from the Weather Channel. When that guy shows up, you don't want to be around because there's going to be problems. The same with Joe Wells. You know, I had a lot of people write in and say that they look at Joe in a whole different light since he was been on. I don't think we had many comments on anybody that's ever been in the studio.
No, and that was over 6,000 comments in under an hour. We started getting.
Yeah, it was over 6,000 comments, but they don't understand that when Joe, you know, some of them was like, I never saw him smile, but it was great to see the guy smile and laugh. You guys have to understand that when Joe's out in the area, that's usually when something bad happens, and he has to go do a press release on it. He has to get out there and explain what happens. You know, whether an officer got shot or some crackhead or bust or anything like that. It's not a very happy time for him. So I want to thank Joe for coming in the studio that night and people having a different outlook on him, you know, as far as to what he's doing and stuff. And support your locals. You know, your police department, your law enforcement, your first responders. Those are the guys that are out there. They are humans. Go back and watch the show with Joe Wells, and I think you guys will have a different outlook on, you know, law enforcement. Okay, we already said that about Greg. Who do we have on Wednesday night coming on?
Wednesday night we have Thieves of Paradise. They'll be here 7:30 to 8 o'clock.
They're out of Gainesville, correct?
No, Thieves of Paradise are not out of Gainesville.
Where are they out of? Oh, that's Morning Fatty.
Yes, Morning Fatty's going to be next Wednesday night. They're out of Gainesville area.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be in the studio, if they're going to come in.
No, they're still discussing that on whether they're going to be in the studio, whatever's going to be best for the band. So.
Yeah, I talked to another artist last night, and he reminds me of Calvin O.
But we have Tammy Bogle, the singing cowgirl, will be here on Monday as well. But yes, the artist you talked with last night is Austin Neal. I'll tell you what, he's got some amazing songs out there. He's a master at arms, I believe it was, in the Navy, and he's got a song out there, Brother in Arms.
Yeah, that song kicks butt.
Amen. He's got Rain and Brother in Arms. Y'all need to check those out on our radio station.
Yeah.
They're playing about every hour, hour and a half.
Yeah, and then Mike Nicole was on the air tonight. You know, you guys support these artists. It doesn't matter if it's Mike or who it is. These artists, they go to great lengths, you know, to get their music up, to bring you guys entertainment. Don't steal their music.
Yes.
Go and buy it. That's why I have all these locks on IITW radio, so little thieves can't, not that some little 8-year-old over in, you know, across the sea can't do it, or hell, here in the homelands, they can't go on and steal it. But we also have we also have a couple of other things I want to get to here. I have a new challenge for you kids. The challenge coming up where you guys are stepping out of the cars and singing and stuff, snorting condoms, eating Tide Pods. We've had some of the, you know, people bashing Trump. Tomorrow night, you know what? Let's put that up tomorrow night. I don't want to put it up. We're running out of time here. We've got 4 minutes to go. Just flip the screen up. Let me see what else we got. Did we get everything covered?
Pretty much for the night.
Holy crap, yep. Yeah, tomorrow night we're going to go over the Second Amendment. I do have my book out, Love Letters from Bubba. It's been out for a while now. I've had a few people ask for it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put up a thing this week and remind me of that, Marie, so I can get this thing up. Or Tammy, if you're listening, she's on vacation. Remind me, I'm going to give away 10 copies of that book to whoever wants to read it.
We already have that up on the list. We're just waiting on you, young man.
Yeah, go ahead and release that. We'll give away 10 signed copies. I'm not going to charge them for that. And that's about it.
We actually, if you can give us 1 second to pull it up, we have the winner of the Twisted Frozen Yogurt. Actually just sent in her picture. She went and picked up her $20 gift certificate.
Oh, yeah. Chris, real quick, how was that yogurt that you ate over there?
It was the bomb diggity.
So
He was eating the chocolate yogurt?
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah.
I've never tried chocolate yogurt.
It was like
He had everything piled up on that thing.
Oh, I
It was
bet he did. Oh my goodness, that
was
sounds
just-
yummy.
it was Death by Chocolate yogurt with chocolate chips, white chocolate chips, chocolate sprinkles, and Reese's, crumbled up Reese's cups.
He was like
wow.
bouncing all over the seat driving down the road.
Well, this is our
There
winner,
she is.
Michelle Brown.
Yeah,
Congratulations. She said she had a little trouble posting it on the Facebook page. We're going to check into that, see what's going on, but we'll go ahead and post your picture on Facebook. Thank you for entering the contest, and thank you for all those who send in their pictures when they win a giveaway. You know, that's what gets our artists and our everyone to give stuff away, is letting us, you know, show the pictures and see that people appreciate it and that they're getting those gift certificates and CDs.
Yeah, and thank you, Twisted Frozen Yogurt. Tomorrow night, I think we have a new sponsor. I'm going to be letting you guys know about a kick butt TV thing that's going to go on if we pick them up. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for listening. And we love you. If you're out in the woods, you're listening on your government cell phone, or if you're in the house or on your phone, your laptop, whatever it is, thank you for letting us come in tonight. Tomorrow night, we've got a kick butt show going on. We have Mr. Who?
Mr. Who?
Greg.
Mr. Greg.
Greg Williams, an attorney at law.
Yes. We didn't do his ad tonight.
I don't know.
We did that on purpose, though.
Yeah, I know. He can do his more tomorrow night.
It's fun watching him do his own ad.
Batman. I'm going to call him Batman tomorrow night.
Well, thank
Actually,
you
he
guys.
looks more like Arthur.
Wouldn't he be more Daredevil?
Thank you all for coming, for checking us out
Alfred.
tonight, for watching. Make sure you go back and see Mike Nicole's interview if you haven't already watched it.
Remember to support our radio station so we can support our local artists and stuff, and even our artists all over the world. Go and hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Go to Facebook to IITW Radio. Go to Facebook, The Putman Way, or any of our websites. Make sure you subscribe so you can get the latest news and the latest music. We love you guys. We'll see you back here tomorrow night, God willing. The creek don't rise and the government don't get me first.
Good night, y'all.
Good night. We're out.
Yep, hold on.
Say good night, Chris.
Not good.
Enjoy the music of Mike Nicole.
like you're trying to find something never seen, never touched, never feel or felt. Never knew it would come to a time that a brother like me would need help. Material things, they don't mean nothing. Diamond ring, they shine for a moment. What I want is not what I need. I need something in my life that's complete, so I can find